Before assembling the machine, please organize all the parts. We have prepared all necessary fasteners, and each step is accompanied by a diagram showing the parts. For machine installation, simply follow the steps below to assemble the machine quickly. Step 1. The gantry frame assembly and upright frame assembly are connected using bolts, spring washers, and flat washers. The bolts, spring washers, flat washers, and hexagonal locking nuts lock the low pull connecting tube assembly. The bolts, spring washers, flat washers, and hexagonal locking nuts lock the rear support bent pipe weldment between the gantry frame assembly and the upright frame assembly. Step 2. Connect the swing arm support frame and the upright frame assembly using bolts, spring washers, and flat washers. Remove the arm support frame assembly, bolts, and shaft retaining ring. Assemble the right side arm support frame and secure it with a shaft retaining ring. Then, use bolts and an end cap to connect and lock it in place. The assembly of the left swing arm support frame is the same as the right swing arm support frame assembly. Unscrew the bolts of the cushion plate assembly. Remove the flat washer and spring washer. Install the cushion plate assembly in the position shown on the stand assembly. Secure it to the stand assembly using the cushion pin assembly, and then tighten it with the flat washer, spring washer, and bolts. Step 3. Use the corresponding Allen wrench to loosen the screws on the right guard plate. Then remove the right guard plate. Next, use the corresponding Allen wrench to loosen the set screws on the base plate assembly. Slide the guide rod downward, keeping the lower end stationary, and tilting the upper end outward to remove the pre-installed counterweight head assembly on the gantry frame assembly. Open the counterweight block box. Load the counterweight blocks from bottom to top based on weight size, followed by the counterweight head assembly. Use the guide rod to prevent the slide bar fixing sleeve from falling off, and press it against the horizontal tube of the gantry frame assembly. Tighten the set screws on the base plate assembly with the corresponding Allen wrench. Insert the counterweight pin by aligning the keyhole at one end with the central position of the counterweight head assembly, and insert the other end into any hole of the counterweight block. Secure one end of the number 2 steel wire rope assembly into the steel wire rope clamp block. Pass it through the pulley assembly and movable pulley assembly, and then pass it through another pulley assembly. Finally, secure the other end of the steel wire rope into the steel wire rope clamp block. Tighten the rod cap and rubber plug on the steel wire rope rod to lock the number 1 steel wire rope assembly. Adjust the depth of the locking of the steel wire rope rod and movable pulley assembly to adjust the tension of the steel wire rope. Then tighten the hexagonal thin nut. Reinstall the right guard plate onto the gantry frame assembly with bolts. Step 4. Use bolts to secure the rear guard plate assembly and front guard plate assembly to the gantry frame assembly. Use screws, spring washers, and flat washers to connect and lock the water bottle holder onto the gantry frame assembly. Fasteners are installed on the gantry frame. Step 5. Use screws, spring washers, and flat washers to secure the elbow pad assembly onto the upright frame assembly. Use screws, spring washers, and flat washers to secure the head pad assembly and back cushion assembly onto the upright frame assembly. Use screws, spring washers, and flat washers to secure the seat cushion assembly onto the upright frame assembly. The machine assembly is complete. Please check and tighten all screws. Monthly. Inspect and retighten all assembly bolts. Shake the product and adjust position or foot pad height if wobbling occurs. Weekly. Inspect all rotating parts for smoothness and quiet operation. Ensure wire rope is taut and counterweight blocks are not suspended in a static state. Check the functionality of the pin assembly and tighten. Apply silicone oil to the slide bar and bearing rotation areas. Ensure the product functions correctly during normal use. Daily. Inspect load-bearing components like wire ropes, pulleys, and counterweights for wear or damage, and check for wire rope derailment. Inspect the product surface for issues like paint peeling, leather aging or softening, label peeling, and surface damage, and replace as needed. Wipe the product surface with pledge. Remove the rear guard plate and right guard plate. Loosen the screw cap on the slotted bolt. Then remove the rubber plug and the screw cap. Route the steel wire rope round the pulley to the movable pulley assembly. Then loosen the hexagonal thin Newton. Unscrew the steel wire rope rotation head. To remove the steel wire rope, take a new steel wire rope and screw one end into the movable pulley assembly while routing the other end. Round the pulley to connect it to the counterweight head assembly. At the counterweight head assembly, fit the steel wire rope into the screw cap and rubber plug. Then insert them into the groove of the slotted bolt. Adjust the steel wire rope tension. Tighten the screw cap. And finally tighten the M12 hexagonal thin nut on the slotted bolt and counterweight adjustment rod. Reinstall the right guard plate and rear guard plate. Remove the counterweight pin. Lift the counterweight head assembly and insert the counterweight pin into the counterweight block. To suspend the counterweight head assembly, remove one end of the steel wire rope from the steel wire rope clamp block. Route the rope through the pulleys and then extract it from the other end of the steel wire rope clamp block. Take a new steel wire rope and secure one end into the steel wire rope clamp block. At any end, pass it through the 117 pulley assembly and movable pulley assembly, and then through the 117 pulley assembly again. Finally secure the other end of the steel wire rope into the steel wire rope clamp block. Lift the counterweight head assembly. Remove the counterweight pin. Lower the counterweight head assembly and insert the counterweight pin into any counterweight block.